down here to class, 1232 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware.
Shalom, Lord Christ, to my brothers and sisters, man. Y'all need to come down to 1232 North King Street, where the truth resides, man. Isupk, Delaware. We definitely represent doing some big things.
202 North DuPont Boulevard in Smyrna, Delaware.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Come and be a part of this rising thing that we got going on here in Delaware.
I hear everybody claiming that they love the Lord and love God and all that. Well, get in here and show it. You know what I mean? The scriptures say faith without works is dead. So if you ain't doing nothing, your faith is dead. So get up and do something. What you need to do is get your ass up and get in the class. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing else. You're sitting home wasting time. Wasting time. Everything is going on around you, and you don't know how to compartmentalize these things. You understand? I'm on my way to class right now, like you should be. You know what I'm saying? Class don't stop for nothing.
Hey.
Is this my cup from last time?
Hey, what's good, Zariah, man? What's up? Get your ass up. Oh, man, you always be tripping. What's going on, man?
What's good, Red?
Hey, man, they was clowning you at work today, man. So? I mean, we watched the video a couple times, but we really couldn't tell if it was you.
Yo, how's your eye?
Oh, it's cool. God damn!
What's up, Isupk? What's up, Isupk? Yo, let me get one of them flyers, man.
Man, I ain't giving you shit. You better get the hell out of here before Cat Pop come out here.
Man, come on, man. Why you gotta be like that, man? I'm trying to come to class, man. Why you acting crazy?
Man, you need to go do that.
Man, I ain't giving him shit.
Man, what? Man, you ain't gonna give me shit. We need brothers to come to class.
Damn, man. Ite me ya me estaron los tacos.
Man, you fucking racist, man. Give me this goddamn flyer, man. You acting crazy, home.
Man, fuck you. Oh, shit. Tebow, nigga.
What? Who?
Tebow.
Oh, damn, I ain't been to class in a minute. Shit. Oh, shit.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Red? Thanks for the bike. What you got on my ties, homie?
I ain't got nothing.
I thought you already collected the times.
I did, but I want Red's 10%.
Stall him out.
What's up, Red? What you got on my ties, homie?
I ain't got nothing, man.
Oh, yeah. You got something.
I ain't got. Hey, man, that's messed up, man.
Shut your ass up or I knock your ass out.
Yo, Tebow, man, that's messed up, man. Give him his money back.
What money?
You right, man. The money.
Hey, man, why ain't y'all help me?
Yeah, man, I paid my tithes.
Man, that's fucked up. If it was y'all, I would have helped y'all.
What about the time he took the ties from me in Zariah's backyard?
Oh, that was different.
Man, let's jump him.
Man, sit your ass down, man.
Man, I got mind control over Tebow. When he here, I pay my tithes. But when he leave, I pay my tithes.
Man, damn, man. I should have just paid my tithes, man.
Man, that nigga gonna cry in the car.
He should have paid his tithes.
Shit, real shit.
This shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. 12 rounds hit hard, and this shit gon' go the distance. Way to exit cool, but wait till you see the interest. Know that we them niggas when we walk inside the entrance. Put me as the GOAT, you should be honored to get a mention. All my clips is standard, but I still get extensions. Switch on the big.
I think we got a problem. Got a problem.
Let's go.
Got a problem.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Sheik Luch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the Isupk classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Word, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID, and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me and these bitches, I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gon' pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Nah, think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody.
Yeah. You know what it is? It is the ISUPK. That is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of Harlem, New York since 1969 under Commanding General Johanna. And we have been sent out to teach the so-called Black, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native American people that we are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans on this side of the earth is the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Tonight's class, this class tonight is going to be a blend of history and today, right? It's going to be a blend of what's going on today and how it plays a role in the scriptures and how the 5 police officers that killed my brother, Tyre Nichols, right? What relations did they have? You know what relations they had? I'm going to tell you what relations they have when we come right back. So get your pen, your paper. Let's talk. Get into the chat. Let's talk about this, all right? Because this is a topic that needs to be talked about. This is a subject that needs to be addressed. This is something that we really need to take a close examination, and we need to look at it and see what is the connection. Why did this happen? Why was there so much personality there? Like, this was personal. This wasn't just a beatdown. Like, I've gotten into many rumbles. And unfortunately, I've been on that other side where I'm giving the blows. I've never been on the side that was taking the blows like that, but I have been on the side that was giving the blows as a young man. And guess what? I have compassion. And my compassion for my brother, just looking at him and understanding that he looks like me. He has brown skin like me. He suffers the same problems as me. When he's in his car, me and him have the same problems. When he's going into a store or anything like that, we have the same problems. When he go for a job, we have the same problems. I understand in the relationship that I have with that brother so passionately. That was such a passionate beatdown. That was personal. And nothing should be that personal to cause you to beat a man to death. 5 black men beating 1 black man. This is called systematic racism. Can you pull that definition for me out? That's called systematic racism. And that's what we're dealing with. And that's the connection. Within that connection is something called hate. It's something called attack. It's something called finances. Why do I bring the finances in? Because incarcerating us is important to the economic system. There's jobs that's set up to monitor us. There's jobs set up to incarcerate us. Is jobs put in place to feed us that's in these slavery houses. And I call them prison houses, but slavery houses. Remember, Yahushua is coming to free us from such enemy. Such enemy. You got that up? Can you pull that up on the screen and read that for systematic racism? see, the big fuss is everybody trying to figure out how should we approach this. Is this racism? Yes, it is racism. It is racism. But the racism, the battery that operates this racism is the systematic racism that we fight constantly. It's the systematic racism. All right? You got that? All right. Can you pull it? Can you bring it up?
Give me 1 second here, sir. Add it to the screen now. All right.
And read.
If you will see on the right-hand side, It says institutional racism.
So it's institutional racism. So it's an institution. All right, go ahead.
Institutional racism, also known as systemic racism.
Systemic racism, go ahead.
Is a form of racism that is embedded in the laws and regulations of a society or an organization.
Now, the police force is an organization. So it's embedded in them. Systematic racism is embedded in the police department. The connection is we are the price tag. We are the ones that keep this economic machine going. The prison system, the correctional system, the judges and lawyers and prosecutors and defense attorneys. Remember, these are all jobs. So this is what pushes that systematic racism and cause these brothers to think that they can do the same thing as their Caucasian counterparts. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
And counterparts, and guess what? They found out real quick, no, it ain't even like that. Go ahead, keep reading that up.
It manifests as discrimination in areas such as criminal justice, employment, housing, healthcare, education, and political representation.
All of this plays a role in exactly what we're talking about right now. Give me Daniel's. I think that's Daniel's 8:25. Talks about the policy. Pull that. So systematic racism is the link. Now, it was told to me, I'm not sure how true this is, but one of the guys, I think one of the officers, his name is Demetrius Haley, is believed that his girlfriend or his baby's mother worked at FedEx, right? Worked at FedEx, and they had some type of thing going on with Tyre. I'm not sure how true that is, but that is out there, and that he's supposed to have took a picture and sent it to her. I'm not sure how true that is. But tonight, what we are going to do is we're going to take a close look and listen to his mother. I think that she deserved that respect, that we listen to her and hear her talk about what happened and what she saw and what she went through, and we're going to examine that. You got that up? Read.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25.
Come on.
And through his policy.
And through his what?
His policy.
Through his policies. See, it was a policy that was put in place that those 5 white police officers understood in that systematic racism. They understood that was his policies that's put in place to incarcerate these brothers, right? They understand that it's policies that's put in place. Like, look, you got TV, music, radio. You got all of these things that play a role. They have policies. Like, for instance, when an artist wants to come out with a song and they shop that song, they go to a record company. And that record company has policies put in place on what should be signed and what should not be signed. And right now, violence should be signed. That's what they're signing right now. They're signing violence. They're selling violence. They're selling sex. They're selling Babylon. That's what they're selling. Read it again up.
Okay. Book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause crack to prosper in his hand.
Right. This is what, and look, and our enemy has done this. This is what our enemy has done through his policies. Read.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Come on.
And by peace shall destroy many.
See, the issue and the problem is I want to look. Let me ask you a question. What is the definition of second-degree murder in Memphis? Can you pull that? Let's talk about that. I really want to talk about this because this is what brought me into the truth. What brought me into the truth is the Christian church don't have an answer for this. Matazi Allah, he was speaking to a brother today on, that was today, right?
Live, sir. That was a couple days ago.
A couple days ago about what was going on. And he's busy trying to hate us because he's an Israelite Christian. I don't know if you guys know, but this is a new group. I done brought it out before and spoke about it. It's a new group, a new organization in this systematic racism system that we live in called Christian Israelites or Israelite Christians. It's a mixture of two. Boy, they got a real strong hate like those 5 brothers that jumped on Tyre Nichols. They got that same type of hate. What I asked you to pull up out?
Second-degree murder.
Yeah, pull that up. Let's read that. Because I want y'all to pull it up on the screen before you read it. I want everybody to understand this too. Sometimes they overcharge you. Sometimes they quick to charge you because it turns into more of a political thing, right? And they quick to charge you and they overcharge you. And then when the jury get the instructions to read dealing with whatever the charge is, it may not fit. This is why the charges that they brought up on these 5 officers, these 5 police officers of the Memphis police force, we have to not just be so happy and not be so quick to say yay, 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 and going out marching and all that, because I'm going to tell you something. They can be quick and fast to charge them and overcharge them. Read that up.
Second-degree murder is defined as an intentional killing that was not premeditated.
So it's now, to me, now let's think about it. Let's think about it, Op. Let's think about it. I'm on a jury. You're on a jury. And then they read the definition for second-degree murder. Read it again.
Count. Second-degree murder is defined as an intentional killing that was not premeditated.
That was not premeditated. Okay, so we know that it wasn't premeditated, right? But the question is, were they intentionally trying to kill him? What do you think, Is that a reasonable doubt right there? If you was on a jury based on everything that you saw and see and read and know about the case right now, even those that's in the chat, do you think that there would be a probable cause here? That without a reasonable doubt, you can believe that they intentionally was trying to kill him?
Sorry.
What you think?
Say it again.
I said, if you're on a jury, and everybody need to really put themselves in that place so that you can really understand what I'm saying right here, right? You can overcharge someone of a crime. You can intentionally overcharge them of a crime because remember, the jury has to go by the instructions that's given, right? It's the law. And if the law for second-degree murder, it says, is defined as intentional killing. See that? And look, it's in bold letter, intentional killing, right? If Mataziala, if you was on the jury, based on everything that you know, can you say without a reasonable doubt that they were intentionally trying to kill him? That's my point.
The jury gonna say, well, they didn't mean to kill him. They didn't set out to kill him. And we got someone involved in the chat. Shots by Phil says, I think there's intent 50-50 for second degree. But as for premeditated, I would say it definitely is. That's Shots by Phil on YouTube.
So he said, is he saying shot by Phil? Are you saying that The last one, it says, but as for the premeditated, I would say it definitely is. So you're saying that it's premeditated? Isn't premeditated is when you think about it, when you plan it out?
I would say, that means you thought you had thoughts of doing the actions that you continue to do. That's premeditation.
Right, you thought about it, you planned it out. So I don't know about that, shots by Phil. I don't know if it's premeditated, but I can't. What do you say? Yes, it is. So it premeditated is that. So he said 50-50. Yeah, see, we don't need no 50-50, Phil. That's what we don't need right now. Right. We had enough of them. 50-50. Look, 50-50 means it's a reasonable doubt. You see what I mean? So we got to watch that. We got to watch that. Because next thing you know, boom, they'll come back with a verdict. Boom, not guilty. They'll come back with a verdict, not guilty. Give me Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 6. Salakia. Matter of fact, no, Salakia. Give me Hebrews 12 and not 12. Give me, let me see what I want. And that's, we got to be mindful of that. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, we get caught out there on that, and then next thing you know, we marching again. Now all that marching, I ain't with all that marching. I ain't with that. Give me, we fight not against we fight not against flesh and blood. We look. The thing is, like, okay, so last time we marched, right? So what did we get out of marching? Anybody remember? Anybody in this chat remember what we got out of all that marching we did? Remember, we did a lot of marching. We did a lot of marching, And all of that marching, what did we get? I'm going to tell you what we got. We got Ain't Your Mama. Did we get Ain't Your Mama off the... didn't they take Ain't Your Mama off the box or something? We got rid of Ain't Your Mama, and they got rid of Uncle Ben. I think they did. That's all we got, really. Y'all went out and voted, still ain't got the George Floyd bill yet. That still ain't passed yet. And guess what? You know the heavy thing about it is y'all gonna still vote. You got that for me out? Yeah, y'all gonna still go out and vote. And he's never gonna pass that. It's never gonna happen. It's never. So right now we're gonna get into some precepts, man, to show you the problem that we have and how is it tied in biblically. Remember, I'm telling you guys, this is one of the reasons why I left the Christian church. I left the Christian church because the Christian church don't have an answer for why we are being oppressed and why we are being killed specifically. We don't have an answer for that. The church don't have an answer for systematic racism. And that's what the connection is. That's what the fight is. That's what the problem is. Come on now.
Book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12.
This is the issue. Read.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
See, our fight is not a physical fight. Honestly, those 5 police officers, spiritually, they did that. That was a spiritual battle because they had hate in their heart. They had envy in their heart. They had no compassion in their heart. Read.
But against principalities.
Come on.
Against powers. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Come on.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
This is what we are fighting. This is what's going on. Because guess what? Tyre Nichols, he's under the curse. And those 5 police officers was under that curse. Under the curse that we're going to show you tonight. All right? And yes, you can be free from that curse. But in order to be free from that curse, I'm going to show you how to be free from that curse. Read up.
Verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God.
This is where you get that armor at. You get that armor by getting in school. You get in that armor by getting the proper training under the proper men of the Most High God. Everybody claiming to be of the Most High God. Everybody is claiming. You talk to him, yes, I love the Lord, and yada, yada, yada. But there's attributes. There are signs to show if you really love the Most High God, and that's if you follow these laws, these statutes, and these commandments. All right? Go ahead, up. What else? You got anything else?
That you may be able to stand like in the evil day, and having done all to stand.
And that's what we need to do. Keep going, read.
Verse 14. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
Come on.
And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
All right, so now listen. This is our battle. This is our fight. It's a stereotype. Those 5 police officers, they had a stereotype in their mind and in their heart. It's this, when I say heart, it's the center of them, because it is no way at all that they should have continued to keep beating that brother and beating that brother and beating that brother. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 54. This is the curse right here. This is the issue, and this is the problem. And look, guess what? We are not taught this in the Christian church. We're not taught in the Christian church that the Bible, the scriptures teach that if you don't follow the Most High's laws, his statutes, and his commandments, a curse will come up on you. We're not taught that. We're going to start at verse 15. Salakia. We're going to read 28 and 1, verse 15, and then we're going to read the curse. Let's get it. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Clip time. Read.
You want 15 or 1?
Salakia, 28 and 1. Salakia. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. Read.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Come on.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day.
Come on.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
No, equal.
Above all nations of the earth.
No, side by side.
Above all nations of the earth.
So the Most High made a promise, and he said, listen, if you follow my laws, my statutes, and my commandments, I will set you above all nations. That means everybody else. That's the definition of being set apart. All right, read.
Verse 15. But it shall...
Salakia. Now, this is the problem. This is the issue. This is why we are having the issues and the problems that we're having right within our own house. Read.
But it shall come to pass.
Come on.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So the scriptures is saying the very thing that the church is telling us that we don't have to do, that we are no longer have to follow God's laws, his statutes, and his commandments. The Most High is saying if you don't do that, he's going to do what up? That all these curses, some of them, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake. So all of these curses shall come up on thee and overtake thee. Right now, I want you to go down to verse 44. Start at 45. Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee. All of these curses shall come upon thee. So all of these curses in Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68, all of these curses shall come upon thee. Read. And shall pursue thee and overtake thee. Come on. Till thou be destroyed. Till thou be what? Till thou be destroyed. Come on. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Come on. Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Read it again. And they shall be upon thee for a sign. For what? For a sign. For what? For a sign.
For a sign. Let's look at one of the signs. I want you to go over to Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Now, this is one of those signs. This is a sign right here. This sign right here, this is the connection. This is the issue. This is the problem. Read.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
Come on.
His eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
No, his eyes shall be liking unto his brother.
His eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
His eyes shall be evil towards his own brother. This is what Yahushua came to fix. He came to fix brotherhood. He came to fix something that was broken. All right, read.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
This is why our divorce rates are so high. Our divorce rates is so high is because of this curse, because we do not want to follow the Most High's laws, his statutes, and his commandments. Read.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
This is the problem that we're having right in our own community, right in our own house, right among our own people. Give me Zechariah 11 and 14. Zechariah 11 and 14 is another precept that we're going to pull to show you the issue and the problem between those Tyre Nichols and those 5 police officers. They was missing a very key element because it was shattered. It was broken under the old covenant. And Yahushua came to do just what we're going to read after this. Go ahead, Ak.
Book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 14.
Read.
Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
So the brotherhood between Judah and Israel are broken. This is the reason why you have this Christian Israelite group. They can hate One West. Let me explain something to y'all. If y'all hear anybody say they hate One West, that's just people saying they hate black people. That's all. That's just black people saying that they don't like black people coming together, because that's all One West is. There's no such thing as a white One West group. There's no such thing as a white camp. So if you're running around and you saying you hate camps and you hate One West and you hate Isupk and you hate this and you hate that, yo, man, you just like them 5 police officers. That's your connection. That's your connection. That is your connection right there, because you got that hate in you. Give me that in 1 John 4 and 20. You got that hate in you. You got that hate in you, and you can't help it. You got envy and you got malice. I want y'all to understand, when you got malice, malice grows. Malice grows and grows and grows. It's like yeast. Give it to me,
Book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20.
Read.
If a man say, I love God.
And this is what the Christian church say all the time. Out of those 5 police officers, I guarantee you, one of them went to a Christian college, right? I guarantee you they'll say they love God. I guarantee you they'll say they love God. But this is the connection that they have. Read.
And hateth his brother.
This is what they did. They showed a display of what? Read it again.
And hated his brother.
That's what they did. Y'all showed a great display of hating your brother. Read.
He is a liar.
He is what?
He is a liar.
Every last one of them are liars, because they hate their brother. Read.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
Damn right. Give me 1 John 3 and 15.
Book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 15.
Read.
Whosoever hateth his brother.
Whosoever hate his brother, and they show they hate their brother. Read.
Is a murderer.
Is a what?
Is a murderer.
And that's what they did. They chased my brother down and they killed him. They killed they chased down a part of our family and killed him. Our family chased down someone that's in our family and killed him. I want y'all to understand that. This right here is hatred towards your brother. Read that again.
Book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 15.
Come on.
Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Come on.
And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
See, that's the issue and the problem. That hate. That hate. That hate. And Yahushua came to fix it. Give me Hebrews 9 and 15. He came to fix the brotherhood. I guarantee, talk to some of these Israelite Christians and ask them, do they believe in the brotherhood? They don't believe in brotherhood. They believe what Esau had taught us on the plantation, and they believe what was passed down to us today. That's what they believe. They don't believe in the truth. They don't believe in what's true. They want to believe what Esau had to say. You got it? This is what Yahushua came to do. Is known to the world as Jesus Christ. Read.
Okay, Hebrews chapter 9, verse 15.
Come on.
And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament.
You know what a mediator is? A mediator is someone that's between two parties that's not getting along. That's what a mediator is, right? It's just like if you having a discussion with someone and y'all can't see eye to eye and get y'all point across clear, you bring in a mediator, and that mediator helps y'all get through it. It helps get through the tension between the two. So here it says, and for this cause, he is the mediator of the new covenant. Read.
That by means of death.
By his death, by him going to the cross, read.
For the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament.
You know what the transgressions that was under the first covenant? One of the transgressions we read in Zechariah 11 and 14. That brotherhood was broken. We can also read about it in the book of Isaiah, how our brother Ephraim went up against Judah. We can read about how our brothers fought each other and warred with each other. Shoot, Joseph was sold by his brothers into Egypt. So Yahushua came to be the mediator, to fix and heal those transgressions that was from the old covenant, right? Read.
They which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance.
And you know who that is? That is the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. That's who it is. And that's what Yahushua came to do. He came to fix it. And he definitely gave us a new commandment. And I'm going to read that one right after this, right? But what we're going to do right now is I'm going to pull up. I want to play his Tyre Nichols' mom's whole interview. I think it was a real excellent interview, and I think she deserved that respect. So we're going to play a little bit of it, and we're going to stop here and there, and we're going to talk about it and break it down, all right? So here we go.
My mama's boy. I was also a skater, so I was a skateboarder growing up. And so I just can't imagine my mother dealing with this. When you walked in, you said, Don, I'm not very good at this. And I said, I got you. What do you mean you're not very? Who would be good at this?
Exactly.
Who would be good at this?
I don't know, because this is very difficult. This is very difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
How you doing, Dad?
I'm hanging in there. You know, I have to be strong for the family. So we have other siblings that we have to be strong for also.
Did you hear the chief?
Yes.
What did you think?
I respected what she said. She's doing an excellent job, I feel. She's moving things along, and I like what she's doing.
She said that there is been nothing, that no evidence that they have found so far to substantiate why the officers stopped Tyre Nichols. No evidence.
Salakia. Right there, what he was just speaking about and what he was talking about was the fact that, all right, and like I said, I'm not giving those 5 police officers any justice on this show tonight. Like their face is not going to be played in no video or anything like that. All right. Only person you're going to see tonight on this screen in the video is his mother, because his mother deserved that respect. His father deserved that respect. All right. So we're not going to play the beat, but we are going to play this. So right then and there, what they're talking about is probable cause. The officers was trying to say that the reason why they pulled them over. But according to the police chief, there was no evidence of that. The only thing we get is them yanking him out of the car and starting to beat down, really, starting to tase him, starting to grabbing him and roughing him up. All of that. That's all you got. You didn't get no reckless driving or anything. We ain't see none of that. All right. Just want to make sure that we touch on that.
Evidence so far. What did you make of it?
Don, I think it's telling because there's so much videotape America's about to see, over an hour long video from a pole camera that catches a lot of the tragedy, all this body cam footage. If Tyre was driving reckless, we should see it. We're not saying that they're lying, but we should see it. And the fact that they can't show it to us further underscores why this was so unnecessary.
Listen. No, we're saying that they are lying. See how he said that? We're not trying. I understand he's the attorney. But I'm telling you straight up, no, they're lying. This right here was envy. This right here was malice. This right here was protocol. This right here is systematic racism. That's what we're witnessing. All right? That's what we're witnessing.
So, I have to say this, because like Ms. Wells said, how swiftly they moved in Memphis and how swiftly the district attorney brought charges against these 5 black police officers. This is now the blueprint for America. When you see officers committing crimes on video, then you can't tell us that you got to go 6 months, you got to go a year. No, when it was these black officers, we saw it move swiftly. And so think about all the ones we covered, Don. I mean, the Tamir Rices, the Michael Browns, Ahmad, all these cases took so long for Lando Castillo for them to charge. But here in Memphis, we now have the blueprint that it can be done swiftly and efficiently.
Now, what is he saying right there? What he's saying right there is there's a precedence that was set. I'm gonna explain. When a police officer commits a crime, such as this crime, a violent crime, and murder someone, right? Or kill someone, they fire that police officer and he becomes an ex-police officer. Or they fire the police officers and they become ex-police officers. See, that's better for a headline, ex-police officers. So the ex-police officers is charged. There's no precedence that's set for a police officer to be arrested for murder. All right. But what he is saying is there's a precedence that was set by how quickly they brought out the video. Remember, there used to be policies that they can't bring out the video that fast. There had to be an internal investigation and all that kind of stuff. No. And that's the issue and the problem that those 5 police officers didn't understand. They thought they was going to be like their counterpart. No, they was fired by the time they got home. They was fired on the 20th. That happened on the 7th. By the 20th, they was fired. Everything was done. It was in motion. So now what he's saying is there's a precedent set. And now there's a guideline set. And if any time this happened again, this is the precedence. This is the guideline that the country will use, period. If there's a shooting and there's this what's that, a webcam and all that kind of stuff, cameras and all that video, boom, they're gonna bring it out immediately because they set a precedence. In other cases, they didn't. So now that it's done, it's set. And that's what he's referring to.
Shaking your head agreement, you're saying yes.
Yes. Because just the way they move so fast, I don't understand why they couldn't do that in other cases, but just to know that they moved as fast as they did lets us know that it can be done.
You wanted first-degree murder charges.
Yes.
You didn't get that.
No. The charges that were filed against those officers are good charges. Those are the charges that I feel will stick. And so I'm happy with the charges that the district attorney has set forth.
20 days since this happened.
Yes.
Without your baby.
Yes. Yes, this is hard. No, I don't have my baby. I'll never have my baby again. But I do know that he was a good person and that all the good in Tyre will come out. And so that's what keeps me going, because I just feel like my son was sent here on assignment from God, and his assignment was over. It's over. And he was sent back home. And God is not going to let any of his children's names go in vain. So when this is all over, it's going to be some good and some positive, because my son was a good and positive person. And that's what keeps me going.
Have you gotten any sleep?
Not really, but it's what it is.
Mom, when did you first learn about this? How did you hear?
The Memphis Police Department banged on our door approximately.
All right, so listen very carefully to this. This right here, trifling. This right here was not cool at all. It was nothing cool about it. What they did, it was a total cover-up. They was trying to suppress it. It's real weird. Listen to how the police officers handled this.
Around between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, asking if I knew Tyre Nichols. And we said, yes. What's going on? He's been arrested. Arrested for what? DUI. DUI? My son don't drink like that. What do you mean DUI? Well, we had to pepper spray him and tase him, so he's being attended to by the paramedics, and we'll send him to the hospital, and then after that, he'll go to booking. What? They then asked me, was he on any type of drugs or anything of that nature, because they were saying that it was so difficult to put the handcuffs on him, and he had this amount of energy, superhuman energy. And what they were describing was not my son, so I was very confused. I asked if I can go to the hospital. They told me no. They left. My husband and I, we got in our car and we went to go see if we could find Ty, because he wasn't answering his phone or anything. When I asked them where my son was, they said nearby. Nearby? What is nearby? I got nothing from them. I think now that I'm actually putting things together, I believe they were trying to cover it up when they first came to my door.
And they was trying to cover it up. They was trying to make it seem like trying to fish and see if he was on drugs or drinking. The first thing they said, it was a DUI. Oh, well, he don't drink like that. Oh, okay, so we can't go that route. Well, he has supernatural strength. They wanted to hear, oh, well, yeah, he's on drugs. You know, he does dibble and dab with this and that or that and that. None of that. She's like, oh, that don't sound like my son. And then, just imagine, these are the people that we pay. Tyre Nichols had a job at Federal Express. He paid taxes. He paid their salary. He paid the people that killed him to kill him. You understand? They over there fishing, trying to get something on him. And then they ask, where is he? And they just say, nearby. Listen, they couldn't have came in my crib and did that. They couldn't have came to my door and did that. It would have had to be a lot more. Like they might have had to take me up out of there because I would have knew right then and there that something's wrong. Something ain't right. But right then and there, they were trying to fish, trying to see what they could say he was on drugs or drinking or any of that. But this brother was already dead. Now she's going to continue to tell her story because the doctor called her. So now they go out and they look for him and can't find him. They go back home. And then the doctor called. Listen.
So around 4 o'clock in the morning, the doctors called from St. Francis and said, Mrs. Wells, do you know your son's in the hospital? And I said, yes. I was advised by the police officers. He said, why aren't you here? And I said, the police officers said that I couldn't come because he was under arrest. The doctor proceeded to tell me that my son had went into cardiac arrest and that his kidneys were failing. This doesn't sound consistent to somebody.
Salakia. What'd you say? I can't hear you. What you about to say? Oh, you should just okay. Salakia. All right, go ahead.
Tased or pepper sprayed. When my husband and I got to the hospital and I saw my son, he was already gone. They had beat him to a pulp. He had bruises all over him. His head was swollen like a watermelon. His neck was busting because of the swelling. They broke his neck. My son's nose looked like an S. They actually just beat the crap out of him. And so when I saw that, I knew my son was gone then. Even if he did live, he would have been a vegetable. So once I got to the hospital, all the police officers were basically whisked out because I heard that the TBI had taken over the investigation. And that was it. They spoke to us, asked a bunch of questions, but I knew something wasn't right. I just didn't understand why they stopped my son in the first place.
Right, and that's key. That's key. Now, understand that the weight of this. Understand putting yourself, you at home, chilling. Cops come to your crib and tell you something going on with your son, and you don't know where, they don't give you nothing else. He's nearby. And then the doctor called him. His neck was broken. His neck was 5 black police officers systematically chased my brother down and killed that brother and murdered that brother because they got envy and malice in their heart for that brother. They had no compassion. Let me tell you something. If that was a white boy, they would have, I don't even know if they would have hit him, but if they would have hit that white boy one time, it would have registered. Oh, yo, I better chill. It would have registered, yo, you better cool out. Somebody would have said, yo, relax. Yo, you don't want to get jammed up. This right here, get you thrown under the jail. They didn't think that with the brother because systematically, the systematic racism protected the white police officers, but it didn't protect them. You know why? Because you are a nigga. Salakia. That's what you are. And you're still that to them. You just got a blue uniform. Where's Blue Lives Matter at? Have you seen it? Has anybody seen Blue Lives Matter?
Sir.
I ain't seen it.
It's a lot if I made it. Like I seen a video where it was the white cop that originally tased him too, but his name and nothing never came up.
Well, Salakia, if I may, now this is what I did notice. That same night when the video came out, they said it real quick. They said 2 other officers were relieved of duty, pending investigation with pay. Guess what? Those was white police officers. Those was white police officers. All right. The 6th one just came out, and I think they said the 7th is about to come. But those was 2 white police officers. That was the one, the white police officer, the first one on the scene that tased him. Right. Yeah, they got him. They definitely got him. But I think that go ahead.
If I may, that just goes to show you how the system protects their own.
Exactly.
And this is exactly what the class is about. How this is systemic racism. It protects their own people.
Right.
Like you don't see this cop's face all over the place, but you see the 5 black cops' face all over the place.
Do you?
And not even his name, but their names are plastered all over the place, villainized, and rightfully so. But his name should be added to that as well, and face.
Right. Honestly, I think everybody that went out there should be fired. Now, the EMT, that's what they call the EMT. A couple of them got relieved of their duty too. Like I think it's either 2 or 3 of them. Now this is the issue, and I actually wrote this down. I had to write this down. What I saw 4 things that took place that they need to look at. Number 1, no, I'm gonna say there were 3 stages. I'm gonna scratch the other one. There was 3 stages. The first stage that they need to look at is the pullover. They need to look at the pullover, and whoever was involved in that, they need to be fired. They need to be fired because the one that hit him with the taser, he said he hoped they catch him and stomp him. That's what Esau said. So Esau gave the order. Esau said, hey, listen, I hope they catch him and stomp him. And they did just that. So that's the first stage that they need to look at. Then the second stage they need to look at is the actual beating, the actual confrontation where they holding them. All 5 of them is involved in this. All 5 of them is involved in it. Either one of them is holding them, hitting them, kicking them, hitting them with the stick. They all involved, right? So that's the second stage. But the third stage, which nobody is paying too much attention to, is how they did not render aid to him. He was out there for 21 minutes. He was out there for 21 minutes. They kept that body out there. They did it just like they always do us, keep us laid out. This is why it speaks about it in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. It talks about our dead bodies lying in the street because that's how they treated my brother. That's how the respect. Look, nobody even had enough respect to say, hey, yo, listen, let's get him some help. Let me check his pulse. Let me check him out. None of that. None of that was given. You about to pull something out?
Not live, sir. I was just kidding to it.
All right, let's finish playing. Let's finish playing.
You said that you thought from the initial time when they contacted you that they were trying to cover up. Why did you think that?
Well, I didn't think that initially. As I started getting information, and information was coming to me, because they made it seem like the stop and the start the start and the stop of this was at a certain location, when actually they were less than 80 feet from my home.
You talked about what you saw. Now, I hate to bring this up, but I just have to be honest. You know Emmett Till?
Yes.
It's reminiscent of that.
I haven't seen the video.
I'm talking about what you saw when you went to the hospital.
Oh, yes. 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 That was terrible.
Dad, would you say? You agree with that?
Oh, most definitely. Because I'm the one who took the picture that's being circulated. And I took the picture because he was in such horrific condition. He shouldn't have been in that condition from pepper spray and tasing.
He was never conscious. Never.
No.
You said you believe if he lived, he would have been a vegetable.
Yes.
The last words on that video that America's going to hear, and Miss Wells, he calls out for you 3 times. Gut-wrenching screams for his mom.
Go ahead, Mom.
That was my baby. He was a mama's boy. That boy loved me to death. He has my name tattooed on his arm. People don't know what those 5 police officers did to our family. And they really don't know what they did to their own families. They have put their own families in harm's way. They have brought shame to their own families. They brought shame to the Black community. I just feel sorry for them. I really do. I really feel sorry for them.
Why do you say that?
Because they didn't have to do this. And like I said, they brought a lot of shame to their own family. Once you see this video, and I know I didn't see it, but from what I hear, it's horrific. And the humanity of it all, where was the humanity?
Right.
They beat my son like a piñata. My son, he had Crohn's disease. He had surgery in 2013. My son weighed $150. He was 6'3", and he weighed $150. And those men, if you combine their weights, it was over 1,000 pounds.
Over 1,000 pounds. This brother only weighed $150. He was 6'3". When you look at the picture in him, when I first initially saw the picture, I thought he was a heavy brother. I thought he was kind of like a big brother, like Mutazi Allah, but no, this brother was 6'3" and only weighed, that's it. And they had to beat him like that. They had to beat him to a pulp like that. They broke his neck. They didn't slam him. I didn't see him slam him. I didn't see him ram him up against a car. I saw him punching him and kicking him. So that means they broke his neck by punching him and kicking him. That right there is an envy and a malice, an anger. This was personal. This was a personal hatred towards your brother, and the connection in it all was systematic racism. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all know that little phrase they say, black on black crime, right? Listen, go and check the numbers. You have something called proximity crimes. Proximity crimes mean it's just the people that's in your proximity. It's the people that's in your area. Like white people have white on white crime, but they don't call it white on white crime. Black people, China, you name it. If you're in the proximity, that's who you're going to have your beef with. Who's in our proximity? Our brothers, our sisters, our family. Those that we all share the same thing in common. We all got off those ships. We all was enslaved. We all have the same enemy. We all share the same thing in common. All right? The same exact thing. All right? Keep on reading it. And then we're going to give you what we're going to do after I finish playing our video, right? We're going to show you how to set up an IV of these scriptures. We're going to show you how to set up an IV, and we're going to show you how to get it in your vein, and we're going to try to see if we can help you fix the problem that you're having. All right? Because the problem that you're having is the hatred towards your brother. You lacking something called brotherhood. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to try to help you out after I finish showing you this video. All right?
Beating a 150-pound person to death. Because that's what they did. They beat my son to death.
He cried out for his mom.
Yes. Yes, he cried out for me. Because I'm his mother. And that's what he was trying to get home to safety. And it was funny. I was in the room earlier.
Hold up.
My stomach started hurting so
This right here, listen to what she say. This is so heavy. She's showing the connection that she had with her son. Listen to what she said. This is heavy. This is heavy.
And that's what he was trying to get home to safety. And it was funny. I was in the room earlier and my stomach started hurting so bad. And I went into the den. I told my husband, my stomach is hurting so bad. And once I found out what happened, it was just the fact that I was feeling my son's pain. I was feeling my son's pain when they were beating him to death.
You said that you felt sorry for them.
I want to touch on that real quick. That's the connection that she had with her son. As they was killing him, she felt his pain. She felt it in the very area on where he came from, her womb, her belly. You understand that? This is what this sister is saying. This is what this sister is trying to express to us, right? And guess what? Sometimes it don't lead to death. Sometimes we could do something to each other and it's this type of pain. It's this type of hurt. And this is what we got to fix. Listen, do you understand the only thing we never tried was brotherhood? The only thing we never tried was forgiveness. We've never tried to forgive one another. We never tried to get past the pain and the hurt that we cause one another so that we can move forward and we can unite as a people. That's what we teach in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And that's why we're hated so much. We're hated so much because we teach brotherhood. We teach forgiveness. And we teach that you got to fix the problem, not put a Band-Aid on it. You understand? We fix the problem. And how you fix the problem is through believing in Yahweh Shah Mashiach, which is known to the world as Jesus Christ, and following his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. They go together perfectly like a hand and a glove. We're going to continue to play some more of this.
Where does that come from, Mom?
I don't hate anybody. That's not in my nature. I just feel sorry for them because they did something horrendous. And I don't know.
You said they brought shame on themselves, their family, and they brought shame on the black community. Can you speak to these? Are all black officers?
No. People try to say black people, we only try to go after white officers. That's not true. We don't care what color the officer is. We want bad officers taken off the force. We know there's a lot of great officers. I know officers. But there are bad officers too. And those are the ones that we need to get rid of. Because all these kids that are dying and being killed at the hands of police officers, their parents pay taxes. They're paying their salaries. and then they have to be murdered by a person who's they're paying their salaries. That's not right. Why is it that black and brown kids always get beat up when they are encountered with the police?
Because it's called systematic. Salakia, hold on. Can they hear me? That's because it's called systematic racism. That's what the sister got to understand. This is systematic racism right here. But we're gonna drop that for now. We're gonna drop it. I think that was enough. I think we got the picture. We understand. You know what I'm saying? This is a tough thing. It's a tough time for the family, but it should be a tough time for us too. All right. And now I'm going to show you what happened and what took place with these brothers and what the Most High. Look, a lot of people try to ask us, okay, if the Most High has only chose us and they're only to come in to save us, give me that in Amos 3. Amos 3:1. If he's only coming to save us, right? And they always ask, well, what about the other nations? What about the other nations? So first of all, I want to show you that he's only dealing with us. When dealing with these issues and trying to figure out why we can't get it right and why these things continue to happen, it's because, once again, we are the Israelites. And because we are not following the Most High's laws, his statutes, and his commandments, we're under that curse, and that hatred towards your brother exists, and it exists heavy and it's strong. And this is the personal connection that they had. It was the systematic racism that teaches them to hate their brother. But I tell you to get up.
Amos 3:1.
Let's get it.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1.
Now listen to what the Most High had to say. And this going to you Christians and all of you Hebrew Christian Israelites. This goes to you guys. Deal with this one and explain this. Read.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Oh, who?
O children of Israel.
So he said, listen to this word which he's speaking to the children of Israel. Read.
Against the whole family.
Against what?
The whole family.
No, half of the family.
The whole family.
The whole family. Read.
Which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Read.
Saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you.
I will do what?
I will punish you.
He said, I will punish you. Read.
For all your iniquities.
For all your iniquities. Not for somebody else's, but for your iniquities. So this is the issue, and this is the problem. A lot of people give me Judges 3:3. A lot of people ask, why is the other nations around it? What are the purpose? See, those black officers, they fell short in this area right here. They didn't understand that they can't be like the white police officers. They don't get the same treatment as their white counterparts. The actions against them was swift. By the time they went for the car door to get in the car to get ready to leave the scene, they was fired. Right? And this is the reason why they did not understand this very thing right here. Read Judges 3:1.
The book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 1.
Come on.
Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them.
To do what?
To prove Israel by them.
To prove Israel by them. The word prove means to test. To test Israel, right? So the nations was left to test Israel. Go down to verse 4.
Verse 4. And they were to prove Israel.
They was to do what?
They were to prove Israel by them.
They was to prove Israel by them. The nations around us is to test us. It's to test Israel. It's to test the so-called black, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native Americans. To test us. That's what the word prove mean. Read.
To know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses.
And you know what one of those commandments is? Love your brother. So them brothers They didn't want to hearken unto the commandments that Moses gave. They wanted to follow after the nations that's left around and about us. And because they wanted to be like those nations around and about us, now they're going to get a judgment from that very nation that's around about us that they want to be like. That was left there to prove us, to test us, right? That's what it was there for. Give me Deuteronomy 13:6. These brothers hated their brother. They had a envy and a dislike towards that brother, and it caused them to kill him. Don't get it twisted. And guess what? A lot of people that watch these broadcasts and watch us teach got that same type of envy and that same type of anger and that same type of strife. I live with it and I see it. I see it almost every day. What you got up?
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, verse 6.
Read.
If thy brother.
If thy what?
If thy brother.
If thy brother. Read.
The son of thy mother.
Come on.
Or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul.
As thy own soul. Read.
Entice thee secretly.
Come on.
Saying,
come on.
Let us go and serve other gods.
See, when you go against your brother, you're serving another God. You're serving another power. Because the most high power, my God, Yahweh, he teach to love your brother. So if you hate your brother, you're doing what up?
Which is as thy own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods.
That's what they're doing, serving other gods. Read.
Which thou hast not known, thou nor thy father.
See, those other nations around about us that was left to test us, like Esau, that created this systematic racism that those 5 officers are employed by, they serve another God. And by following them, they're serving another God. So now they're serving a God that says you should hate your brother and you should chase your brother down and you should kill your brother. You should beat him to death. That's what you believe. You believe that. You believe that, right? Now, we're going to show you how to fix it. We're going to show you what to do in such a case, right? That's what we're going to do. Give me Leviticus. Give me Leviticus 26. Leviticus 26, we're going to start at verse 4. We're going to start at verse 40, Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 40. Now, this is how you're going to fix this. And this goes out to all so-called black, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native Americans. All right? Because we are the dispersed. We are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This matter that we're having with these stereotypes, because that's what it is. It's a stereotype. Remember, it's not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. So this stereotype of us having a dislike towards our brothers and having a dislike towards our sisters and having a dislike towards our children, we got to fix it. And it's only one way to fix it, and it's right here in these holy scriptures, right? Let's get it out.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 40.
Come on.
If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers.
This is how we fix it. We got to confess our iniquities. We got to confess our transgressions. We got to confess that we have been following after those other gods. We have been following after those other nations, and we have a hatred towards our brother. All right? You got to confess that. Right? You can't say, oh, well, not really. No, confess it. Get it out. Let it be known so that you can get past it. So you have to confess it. All right? Read.
With their trespass, which they trespassed against me, And that also they have walked contrary unto me.
So when you hate your brother, that's what you're doing to the Most High. You're walking contrary to the Most High. Read.
And that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies.
So we were brought where? Into the land of our enemies. Well, how was we brought into the land of our enemies? Hold that up. We're going to jump over to 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 47. These are the last two we're going to be pulling. 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 47. How did we get into the land of our enemies? That's the question, right? Remember, this is the IV. We're trying to fix this problem. So we're going to set this up and put it right into the vein, all right? So take it and understand this is true. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 47. Read.
Book of 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 47. Yet if they shall bethink themselves.
Now the word bethink means to rethink, like being born again. So it says, yet if they shall bethink themselves, read.
In the land whither they were carried captive.
How did they get there? They was carried captive. Who was carried captive? We were. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
And repent and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captive.
So we were carried captive by a nation that carried us captive. That nation and those nations that played a role in it, those are our enemies. All right, read.
Saying, we have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive.
We are the only blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people are the only ones that fit this profile of this scripture right here. We're the only ones that fit this. We are the ones that was carried away captive right now in the land of our enemies. And the Most High is saying, this is how you fix it. You got to do what up?
And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies.
So you're going to do it right here. You're going to repent right here. Read.
Which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, in the house which I have built for thy name.
That's towards Jerusalem. That's towards Israel. That's towards the east. We are the ones that was carried away captive, and we right here. And this is how you fix it. Read.
Verse 49. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause.
Come on.
And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them.
That they may have compassion on them. Now let's go back to Leviticus 26 and you started at Leviticus 26 and 40, right?
Okay.
This is how we fix it. This is the reason why Yahushua, which is known as Jesus Christ, in John chapter 3, I think it's like verse 10, where he was talking to Nicodemus, and he said, you're supposed to be a ruler of Israel, and you know not these things. These are the things that Nicodemus needed to know, being born again. When you're being born again, you have to be in the land of your enemies that carried you away captive and bethink yourself in that land. And you have to face the land, your homeland, which is Israel, right? Read what you got.
Book of Leviticus chapter 26, verse 41.
Read.
And that I also have walked contrary unto them, I have brought them into the land of their enemies.
So the Most High walked contrary to us because we were breaking his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. So that protection wasn't there. That holiness wasn't there, right? Read.
If then their uncircumcised hearts be humble, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
This is how your uncircumcision becomes circumcision in the heart.
Right.
This is how it happens. Read that again, huh?
Verse 41. In that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
Come on.
Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob.
Then will he remember his covenant with Jacob. Right? Read.
And also my covenant with Isaac.
Come on.
And also my covenant with Abraham will I remember.
Read.
And I will remember the land.
Come on.
Verse 43. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despised my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes.
Come on.
Verse 44. And yet, for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Lord their God.
Come on.
But I will, for their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am the Lord.
I am Yahweh. I am thy power. This is how we fix it. We fix it by forgiving one another. We got to learn how to forgive. If you can't forgive, you can't be a part of none of this, because that's the very tool that is necessary for your acceptance. The Most High has to forgive you for your iniquities and for your transgressions. One more. Give me John chapter 13 and 34 and 35. This is the last scriptures I'm going to give y'all tonight, right? Look, we got a real serious situation going on. And right now, the spirit of hating blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, hating ourselves, that spirit is on stage right now. Now, what do I mean by that? In 2012, Barack Obama, he helped usher a spirit on stage. And what I mean by stage means that spirit had became the star, that evil, wicked spirit. And the evil, wicked spirit is homosexuality. Homosexuality, that spirit became the star at that time. All right? Right now, the star of our time right now is hating blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, hating each other, having envy and malice and strife towards each other. That's big right now. That's really, really big right now. And this is what we got to fight. This is what we got to understand. You have to learn to forgive 70 times 7. What is it, 70 times 77, something like that? What is that? We got to learn to forgive, man. That's one thing we just do not do is forgive. We do not forgive. You got that out, John chapter 13 and verse 34. This is what Yahweh, which is known to the world as Jesus Christ, came to teach us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Those two that the brotherhood was separated. It was severed. He wants to bring those two back together. He wants to be the mediator between that. All right? Read.
Book of John chapter 13, verse 34.
Come on.
A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you, that ye also love one another.
Salakia, can you hold in that? Give me 1 John chapter 2, so we can give explanation on that. 1 John chapter 2 and it's a hip shot. Chapter 2 and verse 7. Because when people hear that it's a new commandment, they think that it's new like that. It's not new as in brand new. It's just that Yahweh is bringing them back to remembrance on a law that they forgot about. And that's the law that those 5 police officers forgot about. All right. Those 5 police officers, they forgot about loving their brother. They forgot all about it. That was far away from their mind because they were trying to be like the other nations. You got that up?
Book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 7.
Read.
Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which ye had from the beginning.
So he's saying, listen, I'm giving you something that this commandment, this is not really new. This was all the way from the beginning. All right. This was all the way back in the beginning. Read.
The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning.
Come on.
Again, a new commandment I write unto you.
So now he's letting you know this is not new, but he's letting you know, listen, this is new. It's new to you because you forgot all about it. And this is the reason why the Spirit of the Most High has to bring you back to this remembrance, right? Read.
Which thing is true in him and in you.
Come on.
Because the darkness is past and the true light now shining.
Come on.
He that saith he is in the light and hateth his brother.
And do what?
And hateth his brother.
Come on.
Is in darkness even unto now.
That's what those brothers were in. They're in darkness because they definitely showed a display of hatred towards their brother. Read.
He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
Come on.
Verse 11. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness.
Come on.
And walketh in darkness.
Read.
And knoweth not whither he goeth.
Come on.
Because that darkness has blinded his eyes.
And that's the issue and the problem. This is not a new commandment, but it is new. Now go back to John 13 and 34. So when he says a new commandment I give unto you, this is really not a new commandment. This is something, once again, that we got away from. The brotherhood was broken. The staff was broken. And now he wants to bring those 2 sticks back together. Right? Read.
Book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another.
That we do what?
Love one another.
This is a major, major problem. This is the commandment that Yahushua gave. So if Yahushua, which is known to the world as Jesus Christ, gave this commandment, why are Christians not following it? Why are they not following it? Why the Israelite Christian group not following it? Why every time I get on Clubhouse, I got to hear y'all talk about how much y'all hate us? One West. If you talk about you hate One West, you might as well just say, listen, I hate black people that's trying to come together. Just say that. I respect that more. Right? Read.
As I have loved you, that ye also love one another.
Yahushua gave the greatest display of love you possibly can give. He laid down his life. He laid down his life for his brother. All right? Read.
Verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples.
See, this is how they'll know that a disciple is one that follows. A disciple is one that is learning. And if we love one another, the scripture says in verse 35 that by this shall all men know that you are my disciples. Why? Because you love one another. Your brotherhood is solid. But if your brotherhood ain't solid, that is a clear sign to show that you are not on this team. You are not holy. You are not set apart. Look, it takes a bigger man to forgive your brother than for you to get out there and act a fool and do some harm to your brother. I respect a brother more. Yahushua will respect you when you do that. That's what the scriptures is teaching. We got to love one another. That is one thing the Christian church do not do. They do not teach brotherhood. You go ask a Christian, they'll tell you they don't even believe in that. And that is the very thing that killed that brother. Them brothers not understanding that you're supposed to love him. And in closing, I say this. If they never, Salakia, grab me that. Grab me Caesar Bourgeois. Grab me Caesar Bourgeois for water. This is the biggest, this the problem right here. This is the mastermind behind all of that right here. This is the mastermind behind all this crap right here. This idiot, this fool, this picture. Trust me, I'm gonna tell you something. If they would have gave a real image of Yahushua, a brother, it would have been much harder for 5 black men to look in the face of another black man and beat him to death. It would have been very difficult to do that if they wouldn't have given us this trash right here. If they didn't give us this trash, and if they really gave us the image that's in Revelation chapter 1, them brothers would have had compassion. If the Christian church understood that Mary was a sister, they would have had more compassion on that brother, because they'd have understood that that brother came from a holy woman, a woman that's set apart. And that brother is holy and set apart. And we holy and set apart. And the very thing that'll show that we're his disciples is that we love one another. And I close and turn the class over to Priest and Officer Mataziala.
Isupk security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in Hebrew, Ma'ashra. That's 10%, very penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest funds, free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. It's whatever amount you like to donate. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the Feast of Purim, which is beginning March 5th. I believe that's a Sunday. I think it's March 5th and 6th. All right. So come on out. That's next week, that's this weekend. This Sunday coming up. So come on out. We're going to be having it right here, I believe.
No. That's next month. No, we're going to be having.
March. Right. March 5th. Yeah.
We got the chili,
5th, which is next month. And we have what?
We got coming up in Kensington. We got the feeding.
Chili in Philly. We have chili in Philly coming up. On
February 3rd.
Captain Tyre Ward is hosting this chili in Philly. What day is that?
February 3rd.
And on February 3rd, that's going to be in
Kensington
in Philly. All right. That's Kensington and Allegheny, I believe.
Right.
All right. So that's the Chili in Philly event hosted by Captain Tyre Ward. All right. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, Salaki, we also have the Passover coming up, March 30th. This is the Lord's 54th annual Passover, I believe. 54, right?
Right.
54th annual Passover. All right. It's going to be held in Raleigh, North Carolina. Come on out. Everyone is welcome. You're Black, Latino, Native Indian. Come on out. You're welcome. All right. Also, if you're traveling to the Passover, make sure you prepare your house properly for when you come back from the Passover. We will be in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, meaning no leaven is to be in your house. Get rid of all the bread and all the stuff that have the flour, all that stuff. Got to come out your house. All right. If you go to isupk.com, I believe you should be able to see a list of what have leaven in it. All right, so that you can prepare properly. All right. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, in the Israel, Majid, meet to stand. In the Israel, Majid Shabbat, Majid, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Barak Atham, Yahweh Matah, Sarge, meet to turn. We'll get sister courtesy salute. In the Israel, Majid, in the Israel, Majid Shabbat, Majid, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Salaki. Yahweh Matah, Class Smith.